Jon Stewart, you are a flaming hypocrite. You stood there on that mall that day and talked about civility. You are a flaming hypocrite, as are most of you comedians. You sling more hate than any news media. Any. You're worse than the Huffington Post at hatred. Yet you get away with it by saying things like, it's satire, it's funny. Play back some of the tapes of how you hit and railed against Miss Palin and her family. Look at you comedians on Saturday Night Live. Look at the hatred. And you do it and you say it's satire. No, because the brain-dead Democrats that listen to you believe it's for real and it's slanted. You would never make as much fun of Obama or Nancy brain-dead Pelosi as you did against Miss Palin or George Bush. What is it? Subtle hatred? Jon Stewart? And while we're on the subject of civility, and I've heard you talk a few times about what patriotism means to you, what have you sacrificed in your life for your country, Stewart? You do nothing but take from this country. You make millions of dollars. Have you ever sacrificed, John? Have you served your country, John? No, you didn't have to. You took. Aren't you a child of privilege, John? The only sacrifice you seem to come up with is a little bit of anti-Semitism, John. Don't you think I feel like I received a lot of anti-white male stuff in my life, John, just as an example? Of course, I get over it. You were a child of privilege, Stewart. And speaking of that anti-Semitism, and you seem to be so proud of being a Jew, and you wear your Jewness when you want to, why don't you keep your last name? Why don't you put that out there instead of Stewart? You're a flaming hypocrite, John, as are most 99% of you comedians. You sling hate on a constant basis, far more than even MSNBC, which slings more hate, more hatred. Have you listened to Mr. Ed, the talking pig, lately? Or Keith Olbermann? Or Rachel Maddow, who has no agenda? Would you listen to Rachel Maddow? There is no agenda here, just the homosexual agenda. Now, Jon Stewart, you are a flaming hypocrite. And why didn't you have those lazy, useless, shiftless Democrats that attended your rally pick up their garbage? You're no leader. Glenn Beck, on the other hand, is a leader. He told those folks, clean your mess up, and they did. You don't even have the balls to tell them to clean it up, because then they would hate you, John. You slinger of hatred. Play back some of your videos. Play back what you did to George W. Bush. Play back what you, Saturday Night Live, all you flaming hypocrite comedians did to Miss Palin and her family. No, John, you're the hypocrite, pal. You're the fool. An intelligent person sees right through you. The brain-dead dope smokers, they love you. And you know it. No, John, you have wit. I'll hand that to you. But you're also a nitwit. I'm Joseph Mowry from Live Oak, Florida. John, I fear no one, especially not a flaming hypocrite comedian.